Hi guys, it's Natalie here. I've tweeted it out. I'm just gonna look and see at some of the questions that you sent before. Um, but yeah, hopefully a few of you come on. If not, I know this stream goes live later, so even if we catch up later, I usually do this podcast, MU Women podcast, but it's not an MU Women podcast. Hiya, John, you all right? This is just me, just generally talking about Corona. I'm going to talk about Manchester Derby. Ollie is going to talk about a bit of everything. But yeah, obviously, the whole of football has been shut down now until the 3rd of April because of coronavirus, which I think, it was right to suspend football for this. But there's a lot of talk, like when we come back, it's going to be behind closed doors, this and that. I don't think it should go behind closed doors. I think it should be played out, but I think there should be precautions. They're saying things like don't come 3 feet within, 3 feet next to someone. And I think that'll really help. Especially in women's football, the players interact with the fans a lot. And I think just while we're doing this, so this season, if like the WSL does come back, putting a ban on things like selfies, autographs, people like chatting to the players, sort of making it a bit more like men's football where they just come in and out, they clap. They still appreciate you, but it's just keeping it like that. I mean, I've also read things like maybe like just the season ticket holders. So the season ticket holders who go to Lee, they come in because there's about 1,000, whereas other clubs probably have a bit less. But I know it'll put we want 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 fans. I'm sure they've sold loads of tickets for the Manchester Derby, and they're saying this is the women's Manchester Derby now. Like they're saying, that's on international weekend. Obviously, it's postponed now, but having that, when those tickets come back out, just saying no, sorry, it's only season ticket holders. These are just little ideas, but obviously I go to home and away, so for me to say just season ticket holders, at least I'd get to see it at home. Obviously I want to be there when they play away, but if this is the sort of ideas that people come up with, then it should be considered, because I'm with you, John, definitely not behind closed doors. I just think it kills up all the momentum that you've built, trying to build a fan base, trying to get people interested in women's football, just to say, well, we're just going to play it without you. I think you need to play it with people there. And even if it's not everyone there who usually goes, whether they got season ticket or not, you need to be true to the fans who have helped you from the start. And I think just playing it behind closed doors, and this is at Old Trafford as well. I think playing it behind closed doors at Old Trafford wouldn't help. Obviously, Old Trafford is 75,000, so it's a lot bigger. But if you're looking at maybe doing it season ticket holders, well, there's about 50,000, but like spreading it out more. So, making it that everyone can, the loyal people, the people that are there all the time, they're going. John, he's saying he saw the United performance on Thursday. It was good. Yeah, I think it was good. 5-0 is always a good result. I'm just going to go on to some questions because I know it's probably not going to be a long live stream. It's just me talking. But I had a question. Well, it's from you, John. Do you think the virus will affect our chances of getting players we want? I think for the men it might, because I think if we're players are looking to come to Man United for if players are looking to come to Man United for Champions League and pretend this season, I think this is what might happen in the Premier League. It might get called void. It might, no one, it might just stay the way it is, no promotion, no relegation. Whereas with the women, I think you should look at maybe bringing up the two teams in the championship and then bring up 2 teams from the National League, and try and level out that way, because it'll have 14 teams in the WSL. But in terms of the Premier League, I think, and Man United, the men's team, getting players in, I think if a season isn't voided or we can't complete the season, and the men, Ole, they're on track to get in the Champions League, in my opinion. I think it's going to affect people like Sancho coming in. I think Igalo, he'll stay no matter what. That was a great goal by him. I mean, there's a lot of talk of Pogba. People want him to go anyway. But I think he's more likely to go if we're not in the Champions League. But I trust in Ole because I think he's brought in players when we're not in the Champions League. But obviously, we want people like Sancho. I mean, there's also more talk of, I can't even remember his name. Liverpool get relegated. So my man Patrick there, he wants Liverpool women to still get relegated. He doesn't care about WSL. Let them stay this one time. It's unprecedented. The man can't win. The women won't get relegated. They're both in the same league. But I think definitely getting people in is what's going to affect it the most, John. So, I mean, let me know what you think, guys. If you think, getting Jack Grealish is going to affect us, because if Villa do stay up, you might want to stay there. But I think with him, Grealish, and I think with Maddison, if I don't know what they'll do about Champions League next year. They're saying this year Champions League will just be one team. And obviously, it's up to UEFA and stuff like that, how to figure out who's going to get in Champions League if our season is voided. But let me see what everyone else say. Vincent, how will it affect the women's league, this postponement football ban? I think it won't affect, say, Man United and other Premier League clubs because, they'll still get played. They know this and that. But I think it's going to affect teams like Sheffield, part-time teams, other teams like Coventry, London Bees, because those girls are fighting for promotion but are part-time. And I don't think those clubs can survive without match day income. Even a team like Rangers is 60% of their income comes from match day, and that's a big men's team. So, if Vincent's watching or he wants to know, I think it's going to affect the women's team, especially the lower leagues. I think that's why they're probably saying to teams in the National League they can carry on because they need the money to come in. Vincent Patrick saying Jack Grealish, Sancho, Martial, Pogba, Rashi, Bruno, definitely, and I think that'll be a good combination. But Sancho, is he going to come if we're not in the Champions League? I think he still will because I think we'll pay the money, and I hope that money that we pay, Christian press, that's never going to happen. Pernil Harder is the agenda. But no, talking of Sancho, 150 million. If we're going to pay that, we need to be paying 300k for Harder. We need to get that done. That's the agenda you want, Harder 2020. But I think this is the National League, the Women's National League, so it's like the third tier down. They heavily probably rely on playing their games, getting money through the door, winning games. There's teams there that are thinking, are we going to go up into the Championship? I know Sunderland are looking at going up into the Championship. But that's why I was saying just move the top 2 up anyway and just make these leagues bigger. For the women's game anyway. For the men's game, it's going to be really hard. But Christian Press, she was amazing against England. She was amazing in all that she believes. And I'm going to get onto it about the women international. Lotta started for Sweden and she had a really good game. Who else started? Jackie Groenen. I saw a lot of her for Holland, albeit through little bits of Twitter, but I saw a lot of it, and it was box to box. It was doing what we wanted her to be doing, making last ditch tackles, little bits of skilling around the box. She looked really good, and it's a shame that we're not going to see that for a while now for us. But also, too, that I want to shout out, I did really well for England under 21s. And, well, I'll shout out the third one, but Palmer and Tooney, Ella Toone, Amy Palmer in the middle of the box. We're doing really well, dominating that midfield, them two. And I mean, with Jackie in there teaching those little ones, I think, the future's bright. Our girls, Patrick, they're doing really well. They're sitting fourth ain't Champions League, unfortunately, in the women's. But the devs development squad, the under 21s, they absolutely dominated the Man City under 21s. They absolutely tore it up, and there's midfielders in there that are absolutely going to be superstars. Tara Bourne, Chloe Williams, Rebecca Mace injured, unfortunately, but she came on, so there's bright futures. There's Poppy Lawson, there's Charlotte Newsham, Neve. I'm getting Maria Edwards. No, we haven't got highlights, unfortunately. United don't broadcast it, but that those young ones are really coming through, and they're really going to do a lot of things. There's a lot of Chloe's in there, but they've dominated that game. It was easy from start to finish. When the whistle went, Man United under 21s, the women were all over, destroying the City, and that's what we want to see. You want to see Manchester remain in red from the first team, Scott McTominay bossing it, to the under 21s women's team, just keeping Manchester red. That's what we want to see. I had another question from a Mark. Oh, I know Mark. What areas of the squad need strengthening? I don't know if he means the men or the women, but I'm going to talk about them both. For me, the women, it's up top. Attacker, maybe a right winger, but definitely 100% a forward, and that's why it's talking of Pernil Harder. I think we need fullbacks as well, right and left back. Hopefully, I've just said Charlotte Newsham. Hopefully, she can get in next year. But Lotta, like people are saying, she did really well out in Sweden, so I want to see her doing a lot better. But I do think we need experience in there in the fullback areas. For the men's team, I mean, guys, let me know what you think. For the men's team, I would have Sancho. Yeah. If Pogba goes, we need to replace him. It's hard because I think that I like that. But I think I get another forward in, or like you say, Sancho across that front three. Get someone in who can. Thank you, Patrick, about the new hair. John saying, all women's levels doing fab. Lucy Bonds and Alex Greenwood. Men's a goal scorer though, yes. So get someone along that front who's going to score goals. Because Rashford, he's injured, but you can't just rely on Rashford. You need more. And then say if Martial's not having a good game, you need someone else. You need 3 or 4 scorers in and amongst that. And I just think at the minute we haven't got that. I think as well for the women, we haven't really got that. Like Leah came back versus Everton, but other than that, Lauren's out injured. Who's looking like scoring? Leah's back now. So if we were playing next week, who would be the one that you'd pin all your hopes on scoring? It's just 1 or 2 at a time. Vincent, club need to give women more than one shirt. Yeah, well, listen, Vincent, this is a shirt, right? So they can give them to the fans, but I understand what you're saying. They need to have more than one. Men get 2 every game. 2 every game. So for me, giving them this ain't already equal, but why are the women having to put 1 shirt on and then that's it for the season? That's that 1 shirt and you got to keep that the whole season. Fair enough, the devs and all that. Yeah, okay, because I know that the under 18s and all that won't get 2 or 3 shirts a game, but the women's first team should be getting more than 1 shirt. Yeah, but they're probably not going to give it to me or you, Vincent. They're going to give it to a little kid. And I've seen little kids getting them, so that's what it's about. It's not Patrick. I can't say it, boss. I'm sorry. Who's mine of, John? Don't know if you see it there, partly. Well, that's probably because I went and followed her all around. So yeah, that's why I am turning you in English. I'm sorry, I can't. Pratic. That's it, Naomi Hartley. Yeah. But no, guys, I know this is not how I usually do it. I'm just thinking of things to do because, for me, behind closed doors should be off the table 110%. We shouldn't even be talking about that. I think, especially for the women, because I love them the most, as you can probably tell. For me, having a game behind closed doors is just not right. It's just when you're in that stadium and you're singing their name, and I think the men feel it as well. It makes a difference. I can see them running 10 times harder when we're saying to them, come on, heads up, keep going, press, push forward. You can see it. So that's when they start to play even better, in my opinion, when the fans are pushing them to score. When it gets louder, they start playing better. So for me, I think you're only disadvantaging yourself by playing it behind closed doors. I'm not saying they can't do it, because obviously they've had friendlies behind closed doors, but I know they won't like it. They won't want to do it. They play for themselves, but they play for us as well. So to lock us out when it matters, games that matter, the Manchester Derby, come on, man, you can't do that. I just think we need to have some common sense, because the women don't have big stadiums like the men do. I mean, obviously Lee is 12k. I don't want to see Soccer Aid cancelled, but people have raised a lot of money, and I mean, for me, I'd still give them the money, but obviously people want to see a product, so they might have to dish out refunds, and that's not what we want. It's Soccer Aid for charity, but I just think playing behind closed doors, off the table completely. Getting things like the season ticket holders, even that, it's out of order. I think just things like staying away from players. Obviously, there's people out there that love the selfies and love this. I love chatting to the players. I love going up to them and just saying, well done, a good game, and shaking their hands. That's for me, that little interaction is what made me hooked onto it, because they said to me, thank you for coming and supporting me. And I thought, for me, that blew my mind. So that little thing is everything to me when I see them play, just seeing them, speaking to them. But if I was told, listen, Natalie, you can't come and speak to them, I'd do it, because I want to watch them play. You know why I go to Man United Women because that's my family, and even I know some of their families. And if I was told, listen, you can't speak to the families, you can't do this, okay, because I just want to see them play. And I know people say, well, you can watch it on the FA Player. It's not the same being in the FA Player and watching it live at the stadium. When I was 14, I'm so passionate. And if you ever watch any Man United women's game, people always say to me, I see you, I hear you, I do this, I can see you jumping, they zoom in on you. Yeah, they do. But another knee slide celebration, yeah, my knee still hurts from that. But I remember when I dropped my money and I asked if it was Martha to pick it up, Villa away. You see, they do that, they care. And it's Villa away reminded me of running past of Everton away, because they were warming up beside us, and that's what it's about. We were singing all their songs as they were warming up, and they were laughing and loving it. And for me, that's it. I do it for them. They do it for me. They do it for us. This badge is everything. So yeah, you can watch it on the FA Play, but it's not the same. When I was 14, guys, my mum said, "Get out," and I was like, "You what?" And she was like, "You can't watch football in this house. You're jumping about, you're singing, you're standing, you're stamping your feet, you're destroying my house." And even though now I'm 28 and I'm old and I won't destroy her house as much, and I mean I don't even live with my mum, but I'm still at that stage where I'll jump up and, I'll have. The other night, I had a beer in my hand watching the Devs, and then they scored, and I threw it, and it's not like I threw it on purpose. Listen, I'm a grown adult. I know what I'm doing, but it's that euphoria that fills you. Oh, I'd love Ebony back. Ebony knows I'd love her back. It's that euphoria. Casey knows I'd love her back. I even think Casey would have her back. Let's just leave that there. But it's whether she would come back. Yeah, does Ebony want to come back? And I mean, she'd want to come back with conditions, but then Casey would probably say, "You come back, and you come back for it all. You don't run the shots. It's that kind of thing." John, it's been cool being a fan, and yeah, but there's different levels of fan, John. Some people are saying, just watch it on telly, sit in your sofa, sit in the comfort of your own house. I'm sure you won't remind me saying, Rodney, sit with a drink and just chill, and you can drink. Yeah, but it's not the same, Rodney. It's not the same watching it at home and watching it there. And I'm sure Rodney even agrees it's not the same. But for me, there's nothing calm about it. It's a feeling that takes over you, and I can't. For me, definitely, if they did it behind closed doors at Old Trafford, I know that people would be meeting up and going to the pubs local to Old Trafford, standing outside. You saw it versus Paris. And I mean, I'm not encouraging this now, but I might have to go to the pub and watch, go down to Lee, and literally, because I couldn't not be there. And that's my problem. I'm probably one of the most passionate fans of women's football, but I would have to go and sit in my car and watch it on the phone while the game was going on. I couldn't not watch Man United and be there for my girls because they've given me a feeling that I've had when I was little. When I was a little girl, if I was a little girl now, oh my God. But they gave me that feeling and passion that was slowly dying for Old Trafford. I mean, it's come back. The Red Army, shout them out because they've brought that singing. But Old Trafford was, when I was, I've been a season ticket holder 5 years. When I was properly going week in, week out, it was dead. So you got to shout out those boys who are making it back and bringing Old Trafford back to where it should be. But the women took advantage of that at that time. That, dead, sterile atmosphere. And to be fair, a lot of the men probably didn't even like the fans. I went to Anfield. This is what sort of made me as a women's fan is the men, the way they treated us. I went to Anfield, Jose Mourinho year, and we lost 3-0. And he was about two yards in front of me. So I was right at the front. Martial, we lost 3-0. Did he turn around and clap the fans? Did he? Bollocks. The only ones who came over was Lingard, Rashford, and Victor Lindelof. Everyone else, I think David De Gea was there. 4 players, and everyone else went down the tunnel. And I get you upset. How do you think I feel? Anfield, and they're laughing and joking in your face. I got off, and that's when I sort of thought, this ain't for me. The girls would never do that. To be fair, they nearly did it, and I've told them, and they know, but not like that. Not like that. But no, guys, listen, if it does come back on, we're going to need you not to it's going to be different. You're going to have to leave the players alone, let them just come in, come out, get off. Because if they start saying, and then they'll never say to you no, but if they start having to wait and do this and do that, it's just going to get worse. Really, everyone's saying keep 3 feet away from people. And that's what we should be encouraging them to do. So if they let fans back in, just, we all need to be sensible because I don't want it then getting called off again because someone someone was all over the players when they shouldn't have been or whatever. And to be fair, that someone will probably be me. So if I ruin it for everyone, I'm sorry, but just try not to. Guys, it's only a short one. I've been on about half an hour just talking about everything. Gotta know more about the women's team now and who we should bring in the men's. But I definitely think we both need a goal scorer. And if we're going to go out and get Sancho, for me, Harder is an essential. Because she is a quality player. Even her, I was watching a bit of her. Yeah, I saw Bruno singing his song. It's good. I want to see some of the girls. I want to see Leah singing her song, and she made a promise to us that she would, and she's still not done it. So during this break, one of them can get it on. No, but for me, if we're going to spend 150 million on Sancho, I think he'll change up the game. But I think we need to spend on harder, getting quality players in. But Sancho will definitely change it up. It's just whether we have it back on. And listen, guys, I'm probably going to call it in a bit. I see a few of you. I thank a lot of you. Share it out. I hope to get a Norwegian on, but we'll see next week. Just talking about the women. But on Wednesday, I'll be hopefully doing a bit of things with Granada, and again talking with a few people about, let's say Granada, I mean ITV1, Channel 3, talking about coronavirus and how we fans feel about it and what we fans want. And like I said, I'm seeing a lot of you saying not behind closed doors. I mean, Ollie said we can't wait to welcome you back to Old Trafford. Igalo saying stay safe. So everyone stay safe for a few weeks. What do you mean if women win the league? I don't know what you mean, Vincent. Explain what you mean there to me, bud. But everyone stay safe. That's the most important thing. Reach out to people, talk to people, because if we're all in this self-isolation, no one knows really what to do. Football is people's life. Football is my life. I work Monday to Friday, knowing that the weekend I'm going to do what I absolutely love and adore. So now, what am I going to do? I don't know. But listen, it's not like I haven't got friends, family. I can't, ring someone up, someone come round to my house, this, that, and the other. Oh, you mean if women wins the league, what being done next season if women win the league? What do you mean? What do you think's being done to make sure we're getting someone like Harder will help us win the league, Vincent? And I know I'm banging on about her name, but getting someone like that, Steph Catley, I think she's a left back, right back. Someone like that will help us win the league. Trying to think who else, whose other names. People like that will help us. But guys, I'm going to call it. I know it's only been a short one, but it's not a podcast. It's just talking about how I feel. But tune into ITV. I'll obviously tweet about it. Let me know how you feel when it's been on. So to stay tuned. Wednesday, ITV. I'm filming it, so I'll let you know when it goes out. People saying Kelly, yeah, why not? Let's see what happens. Not her biggest fan anyway, but if she comes in and does the job, let's get it. Goal scorers, that's what we need. LJ back. Maria Edwards, promoter. Let's see. Thanks a lot, guys. Love you. Stay safe. Speak to people. ITV, Channel 3. Should be on there, but I don't know if it's just Manchester because it's Granada. I don't know. I'll have to let you know. But Channel 3, check it out Wednesday. I'll let you know closer to the time. Thanks for your support. Stay safe. Message me if you're bored. I'm bored too, so I just don't know what I'm gonna do. But thanks a lot. Share this out. Much love and appreciation.